Hi guys, this is Michelle and I'm back today to show you how I make these tiny faux pumpkin arrangements. They're the cutest things and I want to show you how I use them all around my home. So hopefully you're ready to get started crafting along with me here. And so if you could subscribe, and that way you won't miss out on any of my videos, and then we can get started. So here we have our supplies, and basically we're going to be using some mini pumpkins of your choice, lamb's ear. I have a little bit of an IKEA plant, peat pots. They're about a 2-inch size. We have Waverly chalk paint in addition to the chalkboard paint for these little mini chalkboards we're going to be using, some foam, brushes, glue gun, glue sticks, a set of wire cutters, and let's get started. So here I'm mixing a little bit of this mineral with some white paint, and I'm recreating these cute little arrangements that I have made here. They're about 6 years old in this little flower market truck that I have, and I'm just trying to recreate what I had done back then. I cannot even tell you what the paint was, it's been so long. So I'm just kind of giving a coat onto, I'm going to be putting the first coat on these little peat pots. One thing I can tell you about them is they do give off like some crumbs until they have a coat of paint, and then they're totally fine. So I'm just mixing the color. And just kind of breaking up these pots, and I'm gonna trim them up and make them look a little bit cleaner. I'm just using a chip brush to apply the chalk paint onto our little pots. And that's what I started with, like I said, 6 years ago. The color after my first coat, it just wasn't quite dark enough. So I'm remixing more of that mineral paint and just a little bit of the plaster to get closer to the color that I'm looking for. You want my container, it holds, my little particular truck here holds 4 arrangements, and there's little compartments. You want to, if you're filling a little container like that, it's nice to have something that, you know, coordinates with the size of wherever you want to put it. This little container is great, and it holds 4 arrangements, not ornaments. Oh my goodness. And it fits in a lot of places. I love this little thing. And these are 6 years old. I used basically the same things, different pumpkins because it was so long ago. Now I'm applying just a dry brush, a little bit on a dry brush of this metallic Martha Stewart acrylic paint in the color Champagne. But of course you can do whatever coordinates with your decor. Just a little dry brush technique, just for a little shimmer, that's all I'm looking for. I do want these to have a finished look, and you can see they're very similar. I want to just talk for a minute about this box of pumpkins from Hobby Lobby. They were $10.99. They are all color coordinated for you, and they were 40% off. And there's 9 pumpkins in there, 2 succulents, and a berry pick, and they're absolutely beautiful. At 40% off, I paid $6.60. So it was a great value. Now I'm just measuring, kind of eyeballing the foam, and I'm measuring, sticking it in my little pots, and then I am going to end up gluing that in there, but I just want to make sure that it's cut to size, so it's kind of snug. I'm going to add the greens after I hot glue these little foam inside the pots. And there's my cutting up my greenery that's lamb's ear from Walmart, and that's the same exact stuff I used on the originals. And then I've got some greenery from an IKEA plant. Those, I love those too, and I cut them up and use those for many other things as well. Again, there you can see what we have in the original arrangements, and that's my inspiration. I'm trying to make these as close to those as possible. Pretty little kids. Okay, so not sure. I first added the lamb's ear to kind of, fill in and make a base on the top of that little peat pot, and now gluing in the pumpkin. And then I'll follow up with the little IKEA greenery to fill in. And because I am going to be using these on my dining table as place card setting, place cards, these will be looked at when I have company, and they will be taken on and off the table. I do want them to look finished from underneath, so it is nice that they look nice from all sides and underneath and that. But if you were just filling these in in an arrangement and you weren't going to be taking them out, you wouldn't need them to look as finished, and you could probably bypass the some of these steps here, but. So I did kind of tilt the pumpkin a little bit towards the front of the arrangement because these are going to be used as place cards. And I'm placing my little chalkboard that gives me a place to put the chalkboard in the back of the pumpkin into the foam. And here is my chalkboard paint. I mixed in some white house paint to get like a gray slate color is what I was going for these arrangements. And sticking it in and then hot gluing because, again, of the size, I want to make sure I don't put that chalkboard too high or too low. These leaves, a lot of this, on this lamb's ear, a lot of the leaves are very large. And due to the size of this small arrangement, I did decide to cut some of them down. And by doing that, it really, you'll see that in a minute here, me cutting them down. And that really doesn't cause any fraying or anything on the leaves, and they held up beautifully. And I did the same thing years ago. Cut those down just by folding it in half. I did paint the front and the back sides of these chalkboards because they will be visible from the, from all sides around from the other side of the table when they are. You'll see them on the table, and in the back is visible in some of the footage. So here I'm cutting that down. And so you can cut those leaves to be any size you like. Checking the arrangement from time to time too, to make sure that it's not getting too top heavy from the leaves or the weight in the way that pumpkin is placed, and that little chalkboard, that was kind of I found helpful. there's a view of the back of the chalkboard. You can see it does look pretty nice. A lot better than it did when it was just the front painted. So here's our cute little arrangements that we made together as place cards on the table. The table is set, and these are the ones in the middle of the table in my little flower market trug. Those were the inspiration that I did originally make 6 years ago, and these look pretty darn close, you guys. The pumpkins are a little different, but the centerpiece I absolutely love. I pull those out every year, so these will be great. And for storing, I'll just take those little chalkboard labels out, the little plate, chalkboards. Those will come out and store flat, and they'll go right in with my other ornaments or my other little arrangements. These are really great because you can put, I usually have one next to my kitchen sink. They go and fit in little tiny places on a desk. You could have it in a powder room, whatever. I hope you like them as much as I do, and try making some yourself. And the pumpkins were from the Hobby Lobby. Again, I can't say enough good about the whole arrangement, and it inspired the table setting. It inspired my fall decorating this year, that color palette. And the chalkboards, again, may not be able to show up on camera as well as they do in person, but I went for a slate gray. My chalkboard up on the wall, that is actually black. My placemats, if you take note of those, if you are interested, that's just drop cloth that was cut into a 15 by 22 inch rectangle. I pressed it really nice and frayed the edges, and so that was a really cheap, great look, and that's the size that worked for me. My chargers are from the Dollar Tree. They always have a table of dishes and tons of chargers, and if they don't have what you're looking for, go look down the aisle. These are like a wood grain, and I'll take a picture, a close-up, and show you. But for $1.25, you guys, I never had chargers before, and I absolutely love them. Where have they been all my life? And my heirloom napkins that were passed down from my great-grandmother, from like my mom. I was asking her the other day. She said they're probably from the 30s, Michelle. So those have been around forever. And then I want to say that, guys, it really doesn't take much to set a beautiful table. This is just my everyday dishes that look so dressed up on that charger from the Dollar Tree. Use your stemware, put out all the silverware, use your formal napkins, and it doesn't matter if you're having takeout, if you're having a meal that you took time to cook and that took a long time, or if it's just a weeknight and you're just having macaroni and cheese. Really doesn't matter. It's always going to taste better, it's going to look better, and you're going to enjoy it so much more when you sit at a beautiful table. And we're all so busy, and it's so nice to just take time, enjoy your things for you, and enjoy special time with your family and friends. Please make sure to subscribe. I have so much to share, and share this with your friends and your loved ones. And happy fall, guys. Thanks.